everybody, and welcome to the MM show. Although you may notice that my usual co-host is missing today. So Mizanur is with his family this weekend, and Olga Gleckler is joining me. So instead of the MM show today, I'm renaming it the MO show. So today I have Olga with me. Olga, how are you?
Fine. And I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. And we were talking just before we started recording. You and I are both weDevs ambassadors. We also are the only women on the ambassadors team. So ladies, if there's any women out there listening to our podcast and your country doesn't already have an ambassador for weDevs, we're encouraging you to apply because we'd like to see some more women on the team, wouldn't we, Olga?
Definitely.
It would be fun. Maybe that Canada's a big place. There's a lot of women in WordPress in Canada and just, all over the place really. So lots of people, lots of opportunities. And Olga, when I joined the ambassadors team and I looked at who was already ambassadors, I was like, I know her, I know Olga. So I was like, I'm not the only person on the team that I know besides Mizanur. So I was so excited to see that you were already an ambassador when I joined the team because you and I know each other from WordPress. Excuse me. And I am not a developer, but you are a very talented developer. So tell a little bit about what you've done with WordPress.
I done a lot of things, but mostly I like third-party integration and working behind the scene, backend. But right now, front end is much more enjoyable for users and for customers and for clients. So most of the time I'm doing front end, even if I prefer to work with backend and some tricky questions to solve.
Yeah, well, you are my go-to person. If I ever have techie questions that I don't know, I'm coming to you because I think you're brilliant in everything that you do. I'm the out front marketing, talk to everybody person, but I coded, and I say that very lightly, my first plugin last year just by redoing Hello Dolly, just to have an understanding of what development looks like. And I realized that I barely scratched the surface. So I have such an appreciation for what you do.
But each time you solve some problem or make a solution for things and you are proud of you. And I can clap myself really behind my screen. Just, yes, I did it. It's so exciting.
I feel that way about CSS. I do love to play with CSS because it is a puzzle, right? And so if I can change the frame of something, the colors and things like that, or the fonts, or I learned how to build divs last year because I didn't know what a div was. And I was like, oh my goodness, the world just opened up to me, the things that I could do. So it is very exciting. So you should clap and you should pat yourself on the back when you solve those problems. I saw somebody tweeted the other day, they spent, hours and hours looking at their code, and they were just missing a closing semicolon or something. And once they found it, it's like they could just breathe again because they were so frustrated. And so I can imagine that that's some of the things that you sometimes deal with.
Yes, it's most the time there's some difficult problem you are solving. It's like this missing column or something, or you named a file wrongly and wondering why your function isn't working.
Yeah. And then I heard of these things called arrays, and I was like, I'm just going to step back and keep doing the marketing and let other people do all the things that look so complicated.
It's not if you are eating the elephant piece by piece.
True. Very true. So I appreciate everything that you do with WordPress. And of course, I appreciate everything that you do with weDevs. Tell me, why did you decide to join the weDevs ambassador team?
I was wanted to work with company which products are best solutions and can be proudly provided. And I can be proud to work in such company. And turns out that this is exactly what I'm looking for. For instance, Docan, it's first choice and best solution for a multi-vendor marketplace. And I've already worked with it and was very satisfied. And then I saw WordPress user frontend. Oh my gosh, people want to use frontend editors. And it was what most users want to have in WordPress. And there's WordPress ERP. It's wonderful because CRM systems and ERP systems are the most complicated things in the world, at least in my world.
Absolutely.
I had a lot of struggles with clients with integrations of CRM systems, and it was long, it was costly, it was with a lot of restrictions from their side, from side of CRM. And if you will be able to have your eShop and your CRM system at the same time in one system, and it's you have all abilities to customize it, to integrate with them without problems, it's ready to use. And I know WordPress already very well, so I will be able to provide such service very comfortably and with good results. It's just wonder. I'm about to integrate CRM with my client. It will be the next step with eShop.
Oh,
So,
very nice.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I love how excited and passionate you are about it. I just downloaded Dokkan last week. I've been a little bit afraid of it because I didn't know what to do. I don't want to say afraid of it because it's difficult, because it isn't difficult at all, but more about like, well, what marketplace would I build and what would I try to sell? And if I'm going to go to the trouble of making, the whole thing, I don't want it to just be an exercise. I want it to be something useful for at least me and hopefully other people. So I decided to make a photography marketplace, and because I take pictures and I do a lot of photography, so I'm building my website. Click Happy Designs is where people can hire me to do photography, and so now I'm going to have shop.clickhappydesigns to sell photographs online, digital photographs. So it's exciting. It really is.
Great idea.
Yeah, like I don't have anything physical to sell, but I could sell photography. And if it doesn't sell my photography, that's okay. If other people can sell their photography through the marketplace that I build, that's even more exciting to me.
So great. And
right?
It's out of the box?
Yes, exactly. So easy. So easy. And it's just a matter of downloading it, putting it together. I'm using WooCommerce, of course, to sell digital prints. And I think the hardest part is writing descriptions of your products. So like the hardest part isn't even like the software and how to use it. The hardest part is, which photograph do I want to sell? How much do I want to sell it for? And how do I describe it? So like the most difficult part is the creative part, not building the store itself. So yeah, I agree. Very easy, very easy. And I love our products too. And it's so exciting to be able to share them with other people.
It's why I'm actually working on a front end most of the time, because from behind it's already so well. So there's no much to do.
Exactly. And when you think about it, this last year, it's been over a year now since COVID has been a thing, right? So in March of last year in the United States, we started to go into lockdown. I know that over in Asia, it was even earlier than that. And now, of course, everybody has been affected. I had COVID last year before we even knew it was in the United States, and I was sick. You've had it as well, but you survived and I survived. Talk a little bit about, how you made it through that and what this, like everything shifting to online has helped, or like what the experience has been for you.
At the first time I was very down about it all and was horrified, but community and friends online, all including you, keep me sane and in high spirit, and I started working out at home. I made a lot of things online, and when I finally got COVID, for me it was pretty hard, but yeah, we survived, and now I have new spirit, and now I am not afraid, and I'm looking forward to this year's achievements.
Very good. Yes, I was worried about you when I heard that you were sick. So I'm so glad that you and your family have recovered. That's a really good thing for sure. It was not fun. COVID is not fun for anybody who's been sick with it.
No.
So.
And you need to stick to your prescriptions, because
Absolutely.
I messed up with them.
Oh no. There was one.
And make things worse, yeah.
Absolutely. I was in the hospital 4 times, but they didn't diagnose me with COVID because they weren't testing for it here yet. But I broke my ribs coughing and I tore muscles coughing. And I literally, there were some nights I didn't think I was going to wake up the next morning because I was having trouble breathing. So yes, we both survived, and that's a good thing. What are your thoughts about so much having moved online? Like, WordCamp Asia was canceled, then WordCamp Europe moved online, and WordCamp US was canceled, and some of the WordCamps and then have been online, of course. We had WordFest not too long ago as well. And so we're seeing more and more global events online. I think it's been wonderful to connect the community. Obviously, I miss hugging people and seeing people and having a cup of coffee or a glass of wine together. I enjoy those things as well. What are your thoughts about the whole thing?
I think we will never be in the same condition like previously, but possibly it's a good thing. We can keep all these good things which was happening right now, and also have this hugging and beer and wine, etc., and start to travel again. I hope it will be possibly next year. It's supposed to be, definitely it will be, and we will meet each other in Porto, I think.
I think so too, because you and I have worked together on so many projects and we've never met face to face yet, but it would be so wonderful to do that for sure. So, we've heard a lot over the last year, tips for working from home. I mean, I think you were remote working anyway, right? With your own business.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that, if people are still struggling, what are some things that you think are good habits or good tips for working from home?
I'm a very active person and I need company. So our coffee breaks in marketing team are great to keep my speed and to keep me moving forward. And also sometimes you need to make a break and go out. For instance, if I'm thinking that it's too much for me, like overwhelming, I just go to work with my headphone and audible book in my head, and it's relaxing, comfortable, and it's an exercise at the same time. And I can go further in several hours. I think I can go without a problem. So I think, of course, another tip is that to keep you in your schedule and to stick to plan anyway, and to make special place to work in a at home. And also your family needs to understand that you are working and not bother you with some things like why you are not did this because you was home all the time. Now it's not a problem. It was problem firstly with my husband, but no, not now. He is understanding that I'm working and I'm not at home actually.
You're physically there, but you're at work. It's like, why is the laundry not done? How come dinner's not made? Because I was at work.
yeah, exactly.
No,
especially for women.
Yes, absolutely. I live alone, but I have 3 cats. They will not respect my boundaries. It does not matter what I'm doing. You've seen them crawl across my lap and across my screen when I've been at home working. But yes, absolutely. I think those are absolutely good. The other thing I try to remember to tell people is it's easy to forget to drink water and to stay hydrated. I mean, I have coffee this morning because it's morning here in Rochester and I needed some coffee, but I try to keep water on my desk, and you can see behind me over here, the water cooler, because it's so important to stay hydrated too. It's easy to let time kind of just fly by when you're working alone. So it's important to stay hydrated for sure.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, right, for sure. So what are some ways that you think that people, like, not everybody is going to join the dev team or become an ambassador? What are some other smaller ways that people can get involved with the WordPress community? We didn't both start by jumping in full force. There's smaller things that you can do. Do you have any advice for people who are starting to think about joining the community in a bigger way?
I think if you want to feel more community, you start to answering questions in support. It brings a lot of satisfaction. It's a first step, much easy to do because you can don't need someone's permission. You are just going to support and answer questions, and it brings you satisfaction, and also you can understand how much you knew, and to learn new things from other participants. It's the first step. And then there's a lot of teams to get involved with, and you can jump in a regular meeting and ask what you can do and tell a bit about you, and wonder and decide if you will fit or not, or you need to choose another team. It depends on your preferences, wishes, desires, and there's great people anywhere. And it's why people are staying and making these great things happening, because of the community.
Were you nervous the first time you jumped into a meeting, or like thought I will volunteer, or I'll start to get involved? Were you nervous about kind of like putting yourself out there? I was at first.
I was completely disoriented. I had no idea what to do. And of course, you are not wanted to ask questions because you will look stupid. But slowly, I was getting much more comfortable and starting to participate and was comfortable, and finally managed to do a lot of stuff. It's partly why I'm welcoming most people who are joining our channel, and also trying to help and to volunteer in Contributors Day for like WordCamp Europe, to support new contributors and to work with them. Yeah. It's great place to get involved with Contributors Day. And actually we have next weekend WordCamp India, and there will be 2 days of Contributors Days. And also we are looking forward to WordCamp Europe.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm actually I'm still putting together my talk. I'm speaking at WordCamp India. My title is WordPress in the time of a global pandemic. So I'm writing about what I've seen has happened and my hopes for the future of WordPress, and talking about that. But yes, a lot of what I see too is how much we've been able to help each other through all of this. I too was really nervous the first time I jumped in, and I'll tell you, I wasn't even in, I mean, I was on the Make WordPress Slack, but I had never said anything. I'd asked a question here or there about WordCamp stuff. And it was Contributor Day at WordCamp US several years ago that I was like, all right, I'm going to go. And I sat down at the marketing table, and by the end I was like, this is really fun. This is awesome. And there's people that I know, and it was fun to work with them. And my advice too is, if you are nervous, find somebody that you know that's already there. And then you can say to them, what does that mean? Or how do I do this? So that you don't, if you're worried about asking those questions out in the public, you can kind of have like a big brother or big sister, you know, on the team that you're thinking about, who can help you through it, because everybody wants to see you be successful in helping and being part of the team. It's really fulfilling. Now, you were part of the WordPress 5.6 release, the all women's release squad, right?
Yep.
I was on the marketing team. I don't think you were on the marketing team though.
Yeah. It was very exciting. And actually 5.5, we had a lot of work also. And it was great features to present. And really, people need to go and look all this stuff, because we was writing it to get use for all people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wonder how many people didn't know that such new features exist right now. And they are asking questions, how I can do this or that, and in a chat, for instance, and I'm answering that you can, for instance, use reusable blocks. And they are like, what is it?
Yes. I discovered
you need to go and keep up with things.
Yeah. I discovered grouping blocks and how you can group blocks. And I was like, mind blown. You know, it was like, I don't know how to do this. So I was Googling it, and I actually I couldn't find an answer in Google. So I just tweeted about it, and like so many people are like, oh, go here and look at this. And you know, people want you to be successful. They want to see you do good things. What do you think of some of the changes that are coming, like full site editing and things like that?
It will be great, but challenging, I think. And despite for some kind of preoccupations of other people, I believe strongly that we developers will be able to keep even more work.
Yeah.
And especially in this time, all sales companies or production companies want to go online and make their appearance stronger.
Yep.
It will be a lot of work for us.
Yes, but so far I don't know of any plugins that have suffered because of it. I don't know any themes that have suffered. Page builders have not suffered because of Gutenberg. So I think that people need to worry less and embrace more.
Yeah, learn new things, go forward, and it's great because we have such a market that we can be friends with our competitors.
Yes.
And no bother that someone will take your work. There's plenty for all.
Exactly. When I first started teaching WordPress classes in person several years ago here in New York, people would always say to me, why would you teach other people how to build websites? You're just creating more competition for you. And I said, if you knew how much work there was out there, you'd understand that there's plenty to go around for everybody.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We are grown with the market itself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And more businesses are turning to online. We know, especially this last year, restaurants suddenly were having online ordering systems because they couldn't have indoor seating and other businesses that had to shift to marketing online and selling online because people couldn't come into their small stores and things like that. So it's never going away. The internet is only going to get better and better. At least that's my opinion.
Exactly. And for manufacturers, if they was relying on some companies which was buying their products, now they want to present their own products in best possible way themselves.
Yes.
And not depend only purely to some big companies who can buy their stuff.
Exactly. Absolutely. So what is something you're really looking forward to in this next year during 2021? Today is still January. I know it won't be January when this publishes, but it's still January. So we still have almost a whole year ahead of us. What is something you're looking forward to this year?
For more fun, for more achievements. I don't know. I have several interesting projects, but it's really it's not the time to speak about them now. Mm-hmm. But in weDevs ambassador, I think we will have a lot of plans ahead and growing a community here in Russia. So it will be a very busy year. And how it happens that 1 month already gone?
It's crazy. No idea. I don't either. It went very, very quickly. For me personally, my daughter should be getting married this year. They've had to keep moving their wedding date because of COVID. So fingers crossed that this is the year that she's able to have her wedding, because I want to see her married and happy. She's so excited. She's had her wedding dress for a full year now and hasn't been able to wear it. So for me, that's the most exciting thing this year. And then, I love my work. I work full-time with GiveWP, and I love working with the nonprofits all over the world, but I really enjoy the community, the WordPress community especially, and being part of the weDevs ambassador team has allowed me even, more to be able to do that kind of thing. And then also with Big Orange Heart, I think, I volunteer there as well. And we just had WordFest and we're already talking about the next one. So looking at maybe 2 a year. So something that brings the community together. So I'm also very excited about the year. I think that we're looking at some good things, and hopefully with vaccines and things, we'll be able to return to a little more of what we expect as, in the in-person world. But I hope we continue to embrace the online community, because I was able to meet friends like you around the world, that I wouldn't have, I think, if we weren't so much online instead. So I'd like to see us continue both, for sure. So I want to thank you so much for being here with me today. I don't know, I think maybe, you've given Mies a run for his money. Maybe, it's okay, you can be my co-host sometimes. If he's busy, it can be the MO.
Oh, it will be fun.
For sure. But anybody that is listening, we're going to put all the details in the show notes here. So if you want to get in touch with Olga, we'll have all of her contact information, as well as mine. And of course, you can always go to weDevs.com to find Dokkan and WP ERP and some of the other plugins that we've been talking about today. And look for us in our Facebook groups, and you'll just never know where we're going to turn up, but we're pretty excited. And we are soon going to announce the actual where you can enter a contest. We're going to have a contest to rename the show because the show it's a boring name. It's not very good. We need something more exciting that really talks about what we're doing and around the WordPress community through weDevs. And so stand by, but we'll have a page up on a website soon where you can enter your ideas for our podcast name. And then also we're gonna have some giveaways. So if the person who wins, I've already said they get a copy of my book. So my book, Olga, I don't know if you know, my book has the worst title anymore. I wrote this book before COVID, and it's called A Good Firm Handshake. So maybe don't do the handshake part, but you'll get an autographed copy of my book, and then we're also putting some other ideas together. So at the very least, those kinds of things.
I'm also writing a book, but it's novel.
Oh, I can't wait. If you translate it to English, I want to read it.
I will translate. Possibly I need 1 more year to finish, but I have a whole draft already, so
that's
I'm
exciting.
looking forward to it too.
That's exciting. I'm looking forward to reading it when it's done. Absolutely. If you need somebody to proofread the English version, I'm your girl. I would be happy to do that.
It will be such a pleasure to work with you.
I would love it very much. Well, thank you again for being with me today. And until next time, we'll see everybody on the next version of whatever we call this thing. But for now, the show. Thank you, Olga, for being my co-host today. And everybody, enjoy your day.
See you.